Hi guys. Bagay mwasuze mutia Myombia Max Zaz David Klaje Wadabi Echimorad K Momo Mikel UG Haya Edgar Justin Godfriend Tambala Official Julia Sengoba Chintu Mark Paul Sema VIP Zaz David Klaje Wadabi VIP Morad K Momo VIP. I hope you guys are doing well. We bought a fielder on Wednesday. Now, guys, I'm sure you're asking yourselves, why am I here this early, right? So, I was practicing for Jimkhana at 5 a.m. And that's why I'm here early. So I left my home at around 4 a.m. and then I was here practicing. Because someone dared me. I cannot be in the top 6. So apparently I'm going to try to be in the top 6 and where possible, try to win, become a champion in Jimkhana. And I'm not driving any special car. I'm driving the Corolla. And yeah. So I came to practice Jimkhana. That's why I'm this early. And I'm going to do a very short broadcast. Then I go running. Then after running, still I'm going to go to Jimkhana because Jimkhana is supposed to be tomorrow. And so the person that got me into Jimkhana is supposed to tell me when the tryouts are supposed to be. The tryouts were supposed to be today. They're not here today because there is a rally in Bugere, and there's also a rally in Jinja. And yeah, so those two The rally in Ginger apparently happens at the same time as the auto show, which is affecting the attendance of racers at the auto show. So some of them will come back tomorrow morning, some of them will not. I was supposed to get a big powerful car from one of the guys, but he's supposed to be in Ginger as well, so that's why I couldn't get a powerful car. And then I thought to myself, should I pull out or should I stay? So I decided to stay in the rally. I don't know where I'm supposed to be looking here. So I have a challenge with this. I have a challenge with the when the camera is when using this orientation. So I've just read a story in this book that I hadn't read. Plan B. So some dude got burnt. He was playing a kind of music. He lost his fingers and kept two fingers. And then when two fingers remained, he still had to play music. And then he had given up. Then jazz came to Europe. And when jazz came to Europe, when I look here, am I looking at you? When I look here, am I looking at you? I think that's where I'm supposed to be looking. That's why I don't like this orientation. We're going to go back to the other one. So anyway, and then he started playing jazz. He created his own kind of jazz, and then he was really popular like that. So I think it's something similar to what is happening with the Corolla. Anyway, so it's going to be a short broadcast. I'm going to share. If you have a question, guys, you should ask the question now. I will share the story of the fielder, and then I'll tell you the thing that I told you to tell you today. So, but I hope you guys are doing well today. Aramat Photography, Hussein Munyantu Ali. The camera is clear. The camera is normally clear. We go back to vertical. I cannot switch now. When you start in horizontal, you cannot switch back to vertical. Yeah, that's the thing. But no problem. Let's work with that. I'm going to randomly not be looking at you because I want to also look at myself, and that's a problem. So let me focus. Let me look here. So anyway, Dania Singoma, good morning. Arthur, Noah or Wish Valvematic, which one is more fuel efficient? The Wish is more fuel efficient, but I find that the Noah will give you better value for money. If I was supposed to buy the two cars, the Wish is definitely much more comfortable, more fuel efficient, especially if you get the 2ZR. But I find that the Noah will give you better value for money. So buy the Noah. The Noah gives you better value for money. And even when it comes time for selling, the Noah will give you back your money. Will give you back most of your money. Yeah, more money than what the Wish can ever do. Yeah, so I'll definitely buy the Noah, and I'll not be buying the Noah because I like it. I'll be buying the Noah because it gives better value for money. So if you have questions, bring them on, guys. It's going to be a very short broadcast. So I've just posted the fielder on the posts. Why? On Wednesday, we left the bond late, so I could not post. I was really tired, so I went home and I slept. Yesterday, I did 3 inspections in one day. I think this is the most inspections I've done in one day. And why did I dare myself was because the first inspection, the lady had a particular bond where she wanted to buy. So by like 10:30, we had got a car, which was a very good car. I'm going to post the car today. We had gotten a car, so I left her to go to the bank with the mechanic and someone that drove them, someone from that bond. And then after they went, I went with another person to choose a car, and then the other people also phoned me there. So this person chose a car, and after we chose a car, blah blah blah, worked out everything. I left him. He was going to the bank to pay for the car, so I went with these other people to buy a car. So we bought 3 cars yesterday. And yesterday I was too tired as well, and I went back home. And I have a culture with my boys now. We play some board games together. I'm trying to bond a little bit more. I bond with my kids, but I'm trying to bond more with them. So what I did is I went back home, played a bit I played one round of snakes and ladders with them. And you know how kids can be. Kids are really distracted when you're playing snakes and ladders and they're looking at the snake. Daddy, see this snake is going here. Daddy, look at this ladder. Daddy, there is a boy on the board. But we played very well. I did win, definitely, because I know the game better. And then my youngest son won. And then Aban, because Aban did not really win, he wanted to play the game again, but I was too tired. And then when I went, I slept immediately. And then today I woke up at 4 a.m. to come and practice my drifting. I think I'm good. We are already doing something to eat. It lost a bit of power. And when you're going drifting, needs a car that has a lot of power. So we just checked the plugs. I bought the plugs from Toyota. So I know the plugs are superb. So we checked them, they are good. One coil is not working. Muzei, why? Linda ko kuzako. Linda ko tuzeko fenanga nange ndaba. So what we have done, we have washed the throttle. We are going to replace the coil that is not working. And then we're going to see if the power is back, and then I'll drift. Yeah. So today I really want to run. I'm addicted to running. I think addiction is when you do something even when you don't want, right? So I'm addicted. So that's why I have my clothes here for running. But then I have to Jimkhana as well, and then I have another inspection today. So the fielder story. Gentleman calls me in the morning on Wednesday. No, he WhatsApped me in the morning. That was around 5 a.m. before I left home. And he was asking me, okay, he WhatsApps me and says, hi. And then my prompt comes that says, you need to pay 50,000 for consultation if it's about cars. And then he ignores it and sends me a message and asks me how much pre-purchase inspection is. And I also reply with the figure, 450,000. So when he sees it, then he calls me. When I'm on Wednesday, I was running. He calls me, and then we talk. And I think he's joking. So Wednesday, I had to shoot something, and we talk. And he says, Arthur, but I'm going to this place that I want to buy a car, blah blah blah. And I said, good. And then I tell him, send the booking fee. He sends the booking fee, and I tell him, see you there. But he says, Arthur, I will call you because I'm coming from far, which is no problem for me. So I get to, after running, I dress up, and then my team tells me we need to go do a review. So we went to do a review, and we did a review up to around 11, no call. And it was okay. And at midday, when we are still doing the review, he calls me and says, Arthur, now I'm at the bond. And I say, good, let me come. Now, he was at the same bond that sold the other people a Nissan X-Trail. So I go to the bond, and because there was some bad blood with the brokers, they thought Mbali Mesa Kutunda Moroka yawe. And that's why I normally don't want to deal with the brokers directly. But yeah, so we went there, and at the gate, the broker that he saw comes to the gate. And when he comes to the gate, he says, where Arthur? I say, yes. Of course, he knew me. And then I ask him, I tell him, but I'm not coming into the bond until I'm paid the full fee, the full inspection fee. And he says, Gwe, me, I pay you after the car is sold. And I ask him, are you the one buying? He says, no, I'm the one selling. I say, but I don't want to deal with the person selling. Go call me the person that is buying. So the person that is buying had come with his wife. So the wife was seated somewhere in one of the cars. I think that's why he was there. And he was not in the country. So he had come from abroad that night and gone home, and then came with his wife. So I think that's why he delayed. And then also he tried to go to the bank to get his limit upped so that he can pay for the car using the app, paying directly to the bank, to the vendor. So the seller goes back, the broker goes back in, and then the buyer comes out, and the buyer comes and says, no, you need to pay the full amount. And he says, but it's me who called you. You know how people can be. One thing I've realized is when people have money, they tend to underlook the money that other people are charging them for work. So for him, the 400,000, 450,000 is very little money. So he thinks because it's little to him, no one has ever tried to not pay me. So I tell him that's how I do business. So you need to pay. And I think he had some money in his pocket, but it wasn't enough. And then his phone was blacking out. Just as he was pressing things to pay, the phone blacked out. So I tell him, you know what, let's go to my car and charge. We come to my car, and bad enough, my chargers refused to charge the phone. And so, but he has an iPhone. So he switches the line from his phone to the iPhone. And yeah, and he pays. So when he pays, that's when he starts talking. And then as we are heading in the bone, and he says, there's this fielder, blah, blah, blah. But even before we went, I told him, one worry. Because one thing I've realized about you guys, now when people are looking for cars, they're looking for the cheapest car available. Especially the guys that are buying cars from the bond. You're looking for the cheapest car. And that might not be the very, very best option. So we get in. But on the phone, I think I told him about that. I told him, but the cars might not be so good. So we need to give it time so that we look at other cars. And so we get in. I think he had already chosen his car. But when we get in, I think we saw about 10 fielders. Yeah. But all these fielders had dents in the roof. Kubati, along the edges, Mumpajao. They had dents, some had dents here, up here. And then there was one that was 4-wheel drive. And then the good ones were 1.8 liters, but he did not want 1.8 liters. He wanted a 1.5 liter. Now, the 1.8 liter fielders look really nice. Interiors look really nice. The exteriors look really nice. And there were two 1.8 liter fielders, which he did not like, but they were the good ones. I don't know why. And then some cars had a lot of rust. And then there was this one fielder that was really nice. Everything was checked out. And then we sat in the car, started the car, and the engine wasn't good. Okay. And then I told the broker, you need to get us other cars. So he took us to one last car, which still had dents. And then he said, but Arthur, why are you stopping my person from buying a car? I told him, I'm not stopping your person from buying a car. My job is to show this person what. Because the reason you people take me to inspect cars is not to show you what is good about the cars. It's to show you what is wrong so that you don't buy a car that is bad. Not so. You don't take me to show you what is right. Because literally every time someone has taken me to inspect a car, they have almost found a good car. Okay? Most people don't even understand. Like we were checking these cars and even the broker himself did not know what the 1.8 liter. And by this time, I don't even have a mechanic. Because when we were at the gate, we had some exchange. So I stopped the mechanic from coming because I did not know if this was serious. Since we had some sort of issue there, and the brokers from the Nissan X-Trail kept calling, tricking me, you get. So I thought it was some sort of trick. So I had stopped the mechanic. And by now, I don't have a mechanic yet. Because some of the things I can check, some of the things are very basic things that I know that I can check. Normally, when I go with the mechanic, is for me to get a very specific thing, for me to see how specific is this, and also to confirm if what I see is what the mechanic also sees. So he takes us to this other car, and I can tell you, these cars were drivable. For someone that does not care about quality, these cars were okay. And based on the fact that they were a little cheaper, because we bought the Fielder that we bought at 34, these ones were at 32, okay? Based on the fact that they were cheaper, for a person that does not care, you would definitely buy and go. But for example, why was I telling him these things? Because he's going to be driving this car with his wife, but I know 2 years from now, they will want to change a car. And when you want to change a car, it means you need to sell the one you have. But you want to sell the car you have, and it has dents on the roof, moreover. Someone is going to be telling you, but this car knocked. This car has an accident history. This car was probably hit by something on the roof, and they will cut your money way down. So that's the reason why I was showing him. I was telling him, if you don't intend to sell this car or the car you're going to buy anytime soon, most of these cars check out. You get. And then I called it's a particular broker that told me there is another bond that has about 40 fielders. And he lied to me. I don't know why brokers lie. He said, how much are you buying the fielders there? I said, we're buying the fielders at 32. He said, you come. The fielders here are over 40, top condition, between 32 and 33. So we drive and go there. And yes, the fielders there were in top condition, better, much better than all the fielders we saw this way. And then there was that particular fielder, the one we bought, the Aero Tourer. It was superb. That car was, I can tell you, that car was in good shape. Now, this is where I started showing this person some of the things I did not show him at the other bond. I started showing him the rust under the car. You get it? I started showing him the cleanliness of under the car. You get, because there's some importers that bring very good grade cars, but this car had some extras in the interior. The interior looked better. You get, and yes, the car did not have sport trims, but it's also even that because in the same bond there were cars that had sport trims that were almost as good as this one, but not as good as this one. I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying. Like, there are cars that you reach nojitukako nga toyina kyogigamba. So this was this fielder. It was the way you see it in the pictures, that's how it looked. There's no exact, because the person that took these pictures doesn't even know how to take pictures. Fana, you have a broker. Because what happened is, as we were in the office, the gentleman tried to pay via the app. He thought he had upped his limit to 40 million. They actually had upped his limit to 4 million. So we had to drive and go to the bank. Yeah. So we drove and by this time, we took in the bank, it's around 5. But the bank that we went to closes at 6, which was lucky. We were lucky, it's done big. So we drove to the bank, he withdrew money, and after we came from the bank, I dropped him at the bond for him to go pay. And we had left his wife at the other first bond. So I drove back to go get the wife. Yeah. Because as we were coming to check these cars, the wife had gone to KFC. So we came and I picked the wife. And then by the time I came, they had already paid and the car was outside. You get it? And then we left and then we drove somewhere and I sold them a tracker and the alarm because I had to buy fuel. And that's how we ended the day. And then when the wife came, I started teasing her. I asked her, tell me if you saw any car that looks as good as this. And then the wife was blushing. Okay, not blushing for me, but for the car. And I also asked the man, tell me where we were if you saw a car like this one. And it was worth it. The extra 2 million that we invested in that car was definitely worth it. The car has nothing, no dent, no scratch, no nothing. The interior is in top condition. They even gave him another radio, which was superb because the radio that was in that car wasn't working. So they bought him another radio. I think the one thing that he wanted to work on was the guards, which I know he did yesterday. He put 2 guards, front and back, and he had to buy mats to make the car a little bit neater, okay, more friendly for the Ugandan mud system. And then when the guys were a bit, so the side mirror kept flapping, making funny sounds. So that's how we bought the fielder. Am I happy about the purchase? Very happy. I mean, we have bought fielders in the past, yeah. Or I've just forgotten how fielders look, but this fielder was in very good condition. I did not, in that place, the last car we bought from there was a Paso Sete a long time ago. You know, I just called this broker by chance. But we last bought a Paso Sete, which I think we bought in like 2024, in the beginning of 2024. We were not buying. And surprisingly, the cars in that place are almost the same price as the places you guys call wholesale places. So that's how we bought a fielder. And then I went home and slept with a program to inspect 2 cars. And then by morning, I had 3 cars and I could not say no to all of them because the bond lady had a particular bond. And then this other person did not have the budget was limiting us. And then yesterday we bought, you remember I told you the lady was buying a fielder? No, she wasn't buying a fielder. Okay, she was buying a fielder. And then as we were walking to the fielder, I asked her, but why are we buying a fielder? Are you a trader? No. What are you going to use the fielder for? She said, no, I'm only buying the fielder because it's affordable. I said, come on. She's like a lady of like 26 years. Said, why buying a fielder? Why not buy an Auris? He says, yeah, I like the Auris, but isn't it too expensive? Say, well, let's look at it and negotiate and see. So what happened then? She sat in the Auris. She liked it. I liked it. We inspected it. It was Kawa. And then, how much is this one? And then they negotiated. And then she and the seller came to an agreement. And yes. And then they drove her to the bank. And then me, I went. And then we bought a Harrier old model, like the old model super, the one that has the same engine as the 2.4 liter. And then afterwards, we also bought, what was that car? We also bought a Subaru Impreza. So I'll share the stories of these cars tomorrow. I'll share the stories of those cars tomorrow. But guys, I need you to allow me go run. I'm addicted to this. Like, if a day comes and it's running there and I don't run, I feel bad. But then I have to run and also practice my drifting. So you guys are going to allow me to do this broadcast for only 30 minutes today. After I want to buy a Toyota Mark II Grand. Good car. Guys, one of the reasons why I like the vertical is because it's easy to like the broadcast in the vertical. And Firstborn, yes, Travel Live Vlog, Edgar Justin, Chikawa Ricky, Starch Events, Richard Aki, Musasi Samuel. Arthur, have you changed your opinion on Subaru Imprezas? Are they any better now? Because I wanted a Romion, but Impreza is my second option. Subarus are a little more expensive to maintain than Toyotas. That's one thing you need to know. And for me, that's a turn-off. But I find that Subarus are cars of passion. Most people that buy Subarus don't buy them simply because they are cars. They buy them because they like Subarus, yeah? Guys, any idea where you can buy a good tab in Kampala? Zabia tabu na vivako, tabu ze Kampala. Kama katonda. Sasi. Amina, Firstborn. Frederick, Sebugwao Medi, Katumba Hamidu. So guys, I'm going to say bye-bye now. Thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. I'm practicing for Jimkhana, but I don't know if I'm even entered in the game. The guys that are in that game were all asking, so they have kept asking me, which car are you going to be driving? I told Duncan yesterday. Now Duncan, if I don't drive, I'm going to tell people you failed me. That's the same thing that happened in Jinja. I had my N14 and they said you cannot. And then in the Chimeza, they say, you should have come to me. So for auto show, yes, I'm ready. Now let me go running. And I also practice. Muyombia Mark, Zas David Kaji, Waravich, VIP, Morad Kemomo, VIP, Mikel UG, Haya Edgar Justin, Girlfriend Tambala, Official Julia Sengoba, Chintu Mark, Paul Sema VIP, Hussein Munyantwali, Aramat Photography, Official, Julia Sengoba, Danny Nyesingoma, Ntale Samuel, Chris Fitness Duburwa, Starch Events, Richard Aki, Musasizi Samuel, Firstborn, Chikawa Ricky, Edgar Justin. On the steering and handling of the fielder, you commented food. I meant good. You know, I've done that today. Like 2 minutes from the broadcast. I think 3 minutes from the broadcast. So I was in a hurry. I meant good. Good. Sorry. Yeah, that's why I was avoiding him, like posting the other day, because I did not want to have such errors. But I meant good, yeah. Katumba Hamidu, Frederick, Henry Modern Juice, Ronald Muchwa, and Enoch. Guys, thank you very much. Abazereti, Tunara broadcast yencha. Abali Mukamori, thank you very much for choosing to be here. Temoira bid antinera bido bagamanti nkora pre-purchase inspection. I don't even know how I get the geeks. Guys, I do pre-purchase inspection in case you're buying a car and you need someone to help you, a guardian angel, someone to help you make a good choice for your budget. I am your man. I come with a mechanic and together we make sure that you have the best car for your budget. I charge a small fee, 450,000. That money covers a full day of inspection in the Kampala CBD with full mamutu yingira wachisoto yingira or you gure ko mafuta and boyingira onda ko kubisiriro gura mafuta, because if you have the right budget, most of the times, especially if you listen to me, one day is enough for you to get the car you want. But if you don't listen to me, ojja kwesangiro yingidoro na ku. I sell car trackers for the guys that have bought cars. Now at least tracker. And then I would like to remind you 30th August to get a Bat Valley Theatre, Mullah for Cars Convention. Come and we have fun, come and we learn. This is the only day for you to come and learn about cars. You're going to meet mechanics, you're going to see where do you buy spare parts. Yesterday someone told me a story. One of my guys here, he went to a certain mechanic. Okay, he wasn't in the country, so one of his friends took his car to a certain mechanic. And when he took his car to that mechanic, they stole his money. That one was theft. 2 million shillings, but to fix an alternator, to fix a charging problem. They sold him an alternator at 580,000 shillings. The alternator only cost 250,000. I'm going to have a list of those things that they cheated him off of, but it was bad. It was bad. So he first sent them, I think, 600,000, and when he came, they asked for 1.4, and then some mechanics should go to hell, eh? Baby, but I'm your motoka. But anyway, guys, kangende nziruke. Tulinze Chimeza, Amina, Ronald. Guys, I wish you a very lovely day. See you in the evening. Ciao.